Five Nights at Freddy's Ruin will be the most important game in the franchise because it is going to introduce a key character from the books, heavily influencing the story of the games and what is to come next. If you didn't already know, the Security Breach Ruin DLC trailer came out, and there are a ton of important details with this. So first of all, new female character, and her name sounds awfully similar to Cassidy. Gregory is trapped in the Pizzaplex, new destroyed versions of all three animatronics, Vanny's mask, purple and green glitchy rabbit. All three animatronics are destroyed? Vanny's mask and Gregory's trapped in the Pizzaplex? Okay, first of all, how in the world is Gregory trapped in the Pizzaplex again? Because in every Security Breach ending, he escapes and would have no reason to go back. Okay, this is confusing, but first let's try to find out which ending Ruin is continuing from. So we can cross out the escape endings, Vanny ending, and fire ending because it just seems logical. So that just leaves the Afton ending and the Princess Quest ending. We see all three animatronics shattered, so that must mean the Afton ending, right? Well, how would the Vanny mask be available if it is Afton? And in the Princess Quest ending, it's not always guaranteed that we would shatter all three animatronics, so which ending could it be? Honestly, I don't know, because if you look at Chica, she looks melted, presumably from the Afton fire, but also shattered since her beak is missing. And Monty is still missing half of his body, meaning we destroyed him. The only animatronic I'm concerned about is Roxy, because I have no idea what is up with her. To be honest, she looks more upgraded than destroyed, especially in the face area where she was shattered, so maybe she tried to fix herself. Although the Vanny mask is there in the trailer, I think our best bet is the Afton ending for now, since there is more evidence leading to that, rather than the Princess Quest ending. But I think maybe we could get a Vanny boss fight, because she did have a lot of wasted potential in Security Breach, so maybe they're trying to redeem her. Let's move back to Gregory. No matter which ending is canon, there's no way Gregory could be trapped in the Pizzaplex again. I think the voice we hear in the trailer is not Gregory. I think it is a new character, known as the Mimic. If you've been following the books, you know that in the third story of Nexi, there is the Mimic. The story basically is about a single father, Edwin, who makes a program for an endoskeleton, the program being Mimic 1, and he needed the Mimic to watch over his son David while he was working, and the Mimic did the obvious. It mimicked whatever it saw. It even had its own white tiger plush like David carried around. But one day, David was chasing his ball that rolled onto the highway, and he got hit by a white van. Edwin was so sad and filled with anger that he beat the crap out of the Mimic with a metal rod. So basically, that's the Mimic story, wrapped up and put short, but the epilogues also tell us more about the Mimic. And basically, there's another Mimic program, Mimic 2, and Fazbear Entertainment made a lot of them. So multiple Mimics exist. Also in the epilogues, we learned that there was a most likely bunny endo with the Mimic program, and it got trapped in the pizzeria underneath the Pizzaplex, and took off the limbs of the workers down there. Cool, now that you are caught up with the Mimic, we can use this information for Ruin. So I think that the Mimic is a metaphor for Burn Trap being underneath the Pizzaplex. Now back to Gregory. After the Mimic's introduction, this makes a lot more sense how he's there. It's because he isn't there. But there's one part of the trailer that looks like it can disprove this. This part where Cassie says, "Gregory, run!" This implies that Cassie can see Gregory through the cameras, but remember that in the poster, we see a screen of Gregory running. It could have easily been fake, and also how are we going to trust the giant computer cameras that are just there? We don't know how they got there. They weren't in Security Breach, and for all we know, somebody, possibly the Mimic, could be laying these out trying to trick Cassie into thinking she's getting close to Gregory. Alright, now on to the big part. What in the world is this? Well, from its flabby ears, we can tell it's a rabbit, and it's glowing purple and green, two very key colors in the games, being William Afton's color and Charlie's color. And automatically, the first thing I think of is the relationship between Charlie and Afton. The whole story started with Charlie being murdered by Afton, and I think it is going to end by Charlie finishing Afton. especially since we know Charlie is in the Pizzaplex in some way from the Nightmare plushies being scattered around the place, and the black and white wires in the arcade, the same colors as the puppet, and the Charlie door. I feel the Charlie door is somewhat important since Charlie's whole thing was closets, doors. And also in the game files, the princess was named Cassidy but was later changed, but the Charlie door's name was never changed. So it most likely has more importance than we think. I think that the glitchy rabbit won't show up in the game. I believe it is just a metaphor for what kind of story this game holds. One small thing I would like to point out is the fact that Gregory is calling in Cassie, very similar to Cassidy. And Gregory being similar to, Crying Child. And Cassidy and Crying Child being the two souls inside Golden Freddy. And with Charlie being involved in this, I have a strong feeling that Ruin is going to be Afton's last stand with the souls of the children. The one that started it all, and the one you should not have killed.